Hello, welcome. It's time for Base Buzz, and we're about to get things buzzing. Tongues would wag on this one. So, we might have two sides of the divide, as in everything. Might be three. You can sit on the fence on this one, or you might sit out this one. But it's relating to having languages, native languages spoken at home, is what is on the table for us now. So let's just get into this conversation and see if you would be on the left or on the right side, and which really is the right side. Is it the father side, the left side? Well, we'll find out. Well, welcome, Chacha.
Hiya.
Hey, Chacha. Hey, and we've got one making a debut. All right, I see you, Vivian.
Hello.
All right, so we'll get things started. If I want to put you on, but I promise I wasn't going to put anyone on the spot today, so I wouldn't have anyone say. I would just give us a small.
No.
Okay.
No,
So
you
you
want to
understand?
disgrace me, Mama, no.
Okay, I promise. Let's just go ahead with this now. So now it's been noted, according to research now, that it's been found every year that in this present generation that there's been a sharp decline in the rate of the native language spoken by the younger generation. So at some point, it's seen that some languages will go extinct in a very short while because it's not being spoken and it's not being passed on to the next generation. So now, which of the family, that's how we want to just conceptualize it now, which of the parents should be responsible in helping to pass language on far easier? What do you think?
So who made the child? That's the first question.
Yes.
I don't think it's a choice, or there's either a man or a woman or mother or father that should choose. Well, it's both parents. Sadly, I understand Igbo language. I'm Igbo. I understand the language. I can speak a little bit of it, but I wish I could speak more. Now, my mom and my dad, they never spoke Igbo to us, like while I was growing up. But my sister can have a conversation in Igbo. My brother cannot have a conversation in Igbo. And the first time I ever heard him say something in Igbo, I was laughing. In fact, I fell down laughing because he sounded funny. I was like, wait a minute. And he's the firstborn.
Yeah.
And my sister is the second. I'm the third. Nobody said, oh, learn this or learn that. I've never even heard my parents speak Igbo to themselves, except they were in our meetings, the village meetings that we have, our towns meetings. That's the only time I heard them speak Igbo. So I don't even think that is a mother or father trait. I mean, who trains the child? Both parents should.
Okay. So, Vivian, this is where you come in. Why do you think younger generation at this time, they just seem to be detached from their native tongue in a way? Like, they just see like it's not vibing, it's not giving, you know?
Okay, so I think the decline is more with the parents and not the child, because while we're growing up, is what you say to us that we take and say back to you. So if you're giving us the language, we're giving it back to you. So if you don't give us the language, we won't say it to you. I'm probably going to school too.
Yeah.
They need to include languages because, okay, while I was in school, we had Yoruba, Igbo, and other things. But now, my junior cousin, he told me that they don't have languages anymore in their calendar, and that's so bad because I mean, how do you want us to continue with our language if it is not part of our curriculum?
I mean, I know some words in Hausa like do you know?
Okay, no, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's
Okay.
And I know that one.
Yeah.
I know Abuki, that's friend. But I learned that one on the streets. I know Kudi.
Yeah.
So I learned that one in secondary school. I mean, it's also the job of the teachers in schools.
But I know the other one you would know in a very good way. You
Which
can.
one?
Okay, sorry, wait. Let's just no. But I know you. I think your Yoruba will be very, very fluent.
My Yoruba is sweet. Odun baje baje. Yoruba mi ole.
Yeah. Okay, so I still stay with you. There's this aspect of our languages where, okay, now in you brought up a scenario where in your house it's just mother, father from the same side of the country. So there's really, in this case, it's not a question of your sport for choice. So but in this case where you have different inter-ethnic marriage now, this is where people are caught up now, like between at the crossroad of where should I pitch my tent as they begin to make their way in life. So Vivian, let's look at it from this aspect. So, in such a regard where you have intermarriage, whose language should the children settle for?
There is every room for us to teach them both languages. So the father can speak to them in his own language. Because me, obviously, I won't even be able to learn yours all, and like I won't know every part of your language. I'm still learning it. So I believe that the children can learn both the languages.
I think that the children should learn the father's language.
Okay.
I mean, when a woman marries into a family, she marries a man, she marries into his family, marries into his culture. She takes his surname. The children take the man's surname. So it's only right for them to learn the father's language first. And the woman can make it a point of duty for them to learn hers secondary. But primarily, to learn the father's language.
Yeah, Vivian, you're going to say something.
I'm not saying they shouldn't learn their father's language. What I'm saying is because while I was growing up, I was like, I regretted not knowing other languages aside my language. I wanted to know other languages. So I'm not saying they shouldn't learn their father's language or they shouldn't make it a priority, but they should also learn their mother's tongue. I mean, it's very necessary. You should know both languages. That's what I'm saying.
But I see a point in what, both angles, but I tilt towards your direction because there's always been, we are yet to settle because in a patriarchal society, that's what your own response, is pointing towards. In a patriarchal society where it's seen like the children belong to the father in a way, and you mentioned it like
I don't talk. I'm saying they belong to the father. No quotes me. When I talk that one.
Producer, please, can we rewind
it?
Now? Let's go back and pick up you said they pick up the surname.
No.
So what?
I didn't say it belongs to the first.
You said they pick up the surname.
In the first place, the first thing I said was who made the kids.
Yeah, you did. People. Yes, you said that.
So the children belong to both mom and dad.
So, but they don't.
But I said when a woman marries someone, she marries into the family.
Good.
The man doesn't come and take the name, except not Dangote picking you marry. You won't call yourself Dangote. But a woman marries into a man's family and she takes up the surname. So you're going there. So if you're going there, you take your kids there. Your kids need to learn his language because imagine your kids, like I'm Igbo, imagine I marry a Yoruba man. My kids' surname Yoruba, they cannot speak the language. It doesn't make any sense. People will first know that you're Yoruba. They will refer to you as Yoruba before they find out that I'm Igbo. Do you understand? So you have to learn the man's language primarily first. If I was marrying a Yoruba man, I would learn it so I'll know if him and his family people are cussing me out. I guess no. And I must learn it so that I'll fire you back.
I think the basic reason for intra-ethnic marriage is so that both cultures can come together and become one. So I feel like in as much as you want to learn your father's language, you should also learn your mother's language. Because if you go, maybe, let's say for instance, you travel to your mother's place and you are telling them that you are the son of the soil because you are Igbo, your mother is Igbo, you married a Yoruba man.
Yes.
Then how do you communicate with the people if you can't speak your language? How do they believe that your mother is Igbo?
Go do sign language.
But again, that in itself has caused a lot of problem for people in terms of identity because if you do not speak the language, you sometimes can't carry the culture appropriately because that's the language is the vehicle that carries the culture. And I was talking to you, I showed you a video sometime last week where was it this week? A young child, she shouldn't be up to 5.
The Vegas girl.
So fluent, and you could imagine the thoughts in her head to conceive that and saying,
"Oh, not the Vegas girl,
that love food
girl,
the food girl," and asking the mother, "Well, as for me, I want to eat, so you don't want to try out this food." So, but I'm just looking at it from this angle where, no matter how we try, one culture or one of these tribes must be subsumed at the point of the day. But how do people manage this in a way that it doesn't create conflict?
Another thing, just throw it out there. Teach your children both. If they catch one, they don't catch the other. Oh, no, sorry. And you move on. I mean, I know that my kids will be smart and sharp, yeah. But then again, if they don't understand them, there's nothing I can do about it. I personally wish I could speak my language fluently. I would love if my kids speak Igbo fluently. I would really, really love that. But I mean, it is what it is, isn't it?
So, Vivian, let's look at some of the benefits. See, there are benefits that comes with being able to speak the mother tongue. Let me add the father tongue now to it. If there's, we must balance.
Excuse you. Oh. You see this man thing, woman. It's called mother tongue. Which one is father tongue? You like doing this man thing, man
I'm
gender.
just trying to make sure
No,
there's-
you're
there's
not
a
trying to.
balance.
There's no
Call
balance.
it
Something
mother
that's called
tongue,
mother
that's what
tongue,
it
and you're
is.
saying father tongue.
Okay.
Mother tongue is mother tongue.
Okay,
Whether
but-
your papa get them or your mama get them, it's mother tongue.
Okay, I see that. Okay, so let's get into
Is it even in the dictionary? Father tongue.
Okay. It might start off from here after baseball
No,
and then
cannot.
it becomes father tongue. Okay, but Vivian, let's go into some of the benefits we can get out of being able to communicate in a local language. Let's look at signs and situations where we might be in public and there is a need, and let's walk through some of those advantages, for example.
Okay, for example, some instances when I was in a bus and somebody's saying something about me, but I couldn't understand because I don't understand the language. And then, for instance, some of us that are coppers going to other states to serve. What if you go to Nasarawa, for instance, and you know that they are not as educated as the other tribes, and then you go there, you're not able to speak Hausa. How do you cope? Those are the benefits of those languages.
I remember having a conversation with one of my friends, and then she switched to Igbo. And the moment she did it, I knew she wanted to gossip, and I was like, "Yes, girl, come on, let's go with it."
Yeah.
And then I could understand. That's one of the benefits for me, so that I can say something about somebody while other people are there and they don't know what I'm speaking about. And one of the things that the moment I knew that I needed to understand my mother tongue properly was, life abroad. Once you travel, you hear a lot of times, you see the Pakistans, you see the Asians, they speak their language to themselves. Like, they communicate, even if they're in countries that primarily is English, but they speak their languages within each other. And at that point, I was like, come on. Nigerians abroad speak Yoruba to each other more. They speak Pidgin to each other more. They speak Igbo. They speak our native language to themselves because they don't want other people to hear them. But in Nigeria, we barely do that. Now, I would say that I do admire Ghanaians, because Ghanaians always, all of them, I think every single Ghanaian knows how to speak their language, and that's very good. I wish we had that in Nigeria. We have bits and pieces of it, and I mean, that's okay. I would always say that my Igbo and my Yoruba are on the same level. I grew up in Lagos. I've lived all my life in Lagos. I understand Yoruba the same way that I understand Igbo.
Okay, so that in itself becomes a problem, where being able to speak the language and not being able to write the language, how
They go far.
Yeah. So no, really. If we might as well not do it well. If
They go far.
we just have to do it well. If else, let's not even do it at all.
I don't know
No,
about
speaking
writing.
the language should be enough.
Okay.
I don't know about writing.
But that's the reason why there are times where, because you don't have it written, we can't pass it on to the next generation.
But I can speak my language, but I can't write. Like, I had difficulty in writing it, but I can speak it. I mean, and with children, I'm not a child. So children learn what they hear more than what they wrote down or something. But what you say to them, like, they have it, it's in them more than what you write down. That's what I believe.
But now, as we begin to sum up this conversation, there's a tendency that because the man is always away, he would be on the losing side. If
In this generation,
because he's always out of the house,
women
and
are also out.
Then
of
he
the
should be
house
more
too.
in the house, if going out.
because he will
Women are also out too. This is 2025.
I'm
Women
just-
are breadwinners also.
so we don't.
Some men are house husbands.
We've been
too.
this peaceful.
People
before.
they sit down for house.
Can
Men
we-
they sit down for house. No be gender. We they waste time. Go on. I'm sorry.
So that we can. No, we started on a very peaceful note.
It's
so that
not
we,
peaceful.
Oh, you.
I don't want peace.
I want
Problems. Okay, that's good. Let me just assume
So-
that the man is always out of the house. Go on.
So because he's away, if this battle or this job, this responsibility, he would be on the losing side, because by the time he gets back home, the children are asleep already and he spends lesser time. So, but the question is, because he's away, it seems like the responsibility is heading in the direction of the mother to ensure that one language at least must be spoken or
No.
should be spoken.
Because it's a way to make himself available. Not be only one person go really speaking. Man
That's
or woman.
exactly what I said. He should make himself more available.
Yes, it takes two to tango. When they were doing it, there's not only one person that brought it out and put it in now. It's not only one person. So he should make himself available, period.
Okay, so I'm still trying to see how we can end this in a way that Can we
You want
find
to end it in a way that says that it's a woman that is supposed to teach the children. That's what you want. But that's not it, Maggie.
Okay, so let's go now. You see what I said? Let's get to read your comments and see where you stand in this conversation. Which of the parents should spend more time to ensure that this next generation we see, this Z generation, are able to speak the language and pass it on to the next generation? Let's read your comments. Mother, father, or you feel that there's really no need. It's a global world. Pick any language you find anywhere in the world, and that's yours. That's Baseballs. Bye.